Hey, yo. What's happening? It is the Drop the Beat podcast with your man DJ Wildchild. How you feeling? How y'all feel? So listen, in studio right now is one of like my mentors, my big brothers, one of the guys that I've looked up to since day one. The one and only DJ Vince Adams.
My brother.
My brother. What's happening?
All is well.
Yeah, you looking well, brother?
I'm doing what I can. 54 is close.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're looking good, though.
Thank you, brother.
That's all that matters. So, hey, shouts out to one of my sponsors, Love Corkscrew. Krishan, how y'all doing? What's happening? If you don't mind, we're going to do a little wine tasting real quick.
I'm in.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Man, listen here.
You don't have to ask me twice.
Shouts out. So, we're going to try this Pinot Grigio first and see what that do. You know what I mean? It looks like it's pretty decent. That's bad enough. If you don't mind, brother, thank you, sir.
Please do.
Yeah, we're going to make this happen. Yeah, about even. That's enough.
All right.
So.
Always good to sit black on.
Yeah, always good. I guess we can do what they normally do. Cheers.
Hey, man, legs, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. See, I'm following his lead, but listen.
I bought a bottle or 10.
Oh, sheesh.
Well,
you see them legs running?
Yeah, but you're supposed to like take a taste. That was more like a guzzle.
Oh, my bad. Oops.
He's like, let's do this shot.
Hey, so what? This is what I'm gonna do. We gonna go ahead and fast forward. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some more of this Pinot.
Okay.
Pinot. Pinot.
How many tastings have you had today?
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it.
There it is.
That's we gonna be cool.
This is how I roll.
Yeah.
My wife, she's the red drinker. I'm the white drinker.
Yeah, because this American blend. That's it's all right with me. You feel me? This joint is all right with me.
You might as well finish it off, man.
I might as well. You right. Why not?
There it is. Yeah, that was less than your swig from the first one.
Well, once again, man, shouts out to one of my sponsors, Love Corkscrew, man. I appreciate it. So listen, we're going to go ahead and taste a little bit more of this wine. I'm going to get into it with my man Vince Adams and Momentito. So we'll be right back. I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn it up.
Hey, what's up, baby? It is the Drop the Beat podcast with your man DJ Wildchild. This guy that I'm sitting next to needs absolutely no introduction. I have the absolute most respect and admire. I admire him for so many reasons, but we'll get into that. I need y'all to make some noise for the one and only DJ Vince Adams.
My man. And before we go any further,
yes, sir.
My wife has had one birthday party in the last 10 years, and you were the DJ, so I got to put that out there. Yes, you were.
Oh, snap. Are you serious?
Yeah, because I don't have parties at all.
Why?
Because it's work. Like, a party is like work for me. So
how? I mean, get another DJ to come do your party.
Here's the deal. I see a lot of people when I work. When I'm having fun, I hang out in small circles.
Understood.
So I'm an introvert. We can get to that later. But
we are.
Yeah, so I'm an introvert. My wife, she's an extrovert, and you DJ'd her party.
I did, and that was the rooftop. No.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
That rooftop joint?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
That was
about
7 years ago.
2017.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that was a good time.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Shouts out to Kalila. How you doing, Miss Lady? It's good to see you. Appreciate you for loaning your husband to me for
Absolutely.
For a little
so I
bit.
have to put that out there.
Man, I appreciate
family
it.
DJ.
I appreciate it. So Vince, what got you into the game, man? Let's just go straight into it. I'm not gonna ask you your DJ name because it's apparent. Bah.
Well, no, I mean I think that's important because I could be, DJ, Scooter Bug or,
You could, but you're absolutely Vince Adams.
Or, Wild One, biting off the watch. But no, seriously. So, I mean, think about it. Like I came up in the Grandmaster Flash era.
Okay.
But you have certain people like Ferris Thomas, who's, just Ferris Thomas, Vince Adams, who's, so because I'm more of an introvert than a personality, even though I know how to have presence when it's time.
Yeah.
I never went through anything other than Invincible. So Invincible was kind of like but I was never DJ Invincible. It was just kind of something that went along with my name.
But that mantra is dope, though. I love being invincible.
Right.
Like, even the first time I heard it, I was
so
like,
the drop, I was going through a DJ scratch drop and kind of ran across that. And I was like, say no more.
When I heard it, I was like, that shit is that's genius.
But you can go back to like etchings and things I did in high school. It was Invincible. So like when I found that. But yeah, so born in '70. So that was like the age of music. I mean, Motown was kind of like still Motown, but now you got the Isleys and you got so many other, of course, Isleys, and Isleys Motown too. I'm saying like the funky Isleys, not the, it's your thing, not that Isleys. But, the Ohio Players, Rick James.
Yeah.
So many things coming out over the 70s. Kids are playing with 45s. They're playing with records. They're playing with 8-tracks. You're in the car jamming to your song, programs flips over in the middle of your song. So what most people were back then were song selectors. Like you just like playing music. And when you were younger, especially in Chicago with basement parties, they let you stay downstairs for a while until it was time to go upstairs. But they would, my uncle, they would say, yeah, you could play some songs. So I would play songs. And then it seemed like every year a gift that I got was music related. So I would get like a closing play, or I would get a drum set, which I jumped in the middle of. You would get different things. And I remember getting a little boom box in '79 and, Prince 1999, which I should not have been listening to.
Right.
Back when that came out. And,
right.
In 80, I think that dropped in '79.
1999?
I think 1999 dropped.
In 70, was that 79?
It was like,
I thought that was like 81, 82.
So it dropped 82 with Thriller.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So 82, I got that. I got the Off the Wall in '79. So I'm just saying, you can.
By the way, which was the fact that you could open that whole.
Right, and Mike was standing there with the brick wall. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so many things were music related for me, but it wasn't DJ oriented.
Gotcha.
But then the Hot Mix 5, pretty much absolutely, they were the first dance music, if you will, show created around house music anywhere really in the country, but specifically in Chicago, which is called the birthplace of house music. I started listening to the Hot Mix 5. So they were all my idols, Scott Seals, you name it, on down, Ralphie the Raz Rosario, the original Steve Hurley, Farley for sure, Kenny Jason. And then of course, other people came on later. But my point is that I was just always around music.
Yeah.
Then I went to the movies in 1984 and saw Breakin' and I saw Beat Street.
Breakin', Crush Groove. Yeah.
No, specifically Breakin' and Beat Street, because those were 84. Crush Groove was like 86.
80, yeah. You're right.
And I was in eighth grade at the time, and my birthday and graduation were right along the same time, so both in June. And asked my mom, could I get turntables for my 8th grade graduation gift and birthday? And that's what set it off. From there, I bought 4 records, 2 copies of Jam On It, 2 copies of The Dominatrix Sleeps Tonight. Wow. And I spent all of my lunch money for 4 years. And and absolutely. So back then, because this is a DJ show, 3 things. 1, people wanted to learn the skill of DJing. It wasn't necessarily like today, I want to be a DJ so I can, and when I say today, I'm saying that people have DJ goals today, or they have rapper goals 20 years ago, or they had, I want to be an influencer goal. Like you didn't necessarily start something because you wanted the skill, you wanted the outcome of it. Back then, people just wanted to learn how to DJ because it was something you did. So not like I'm going to be the DJ for Run DMC and take Jam Master Jay's job.
Right.
You just wanted to learn how to DJ. 2, if you're going to DJ in public in Chicago, you had to have a skill set or you could be carried out the club.
Right.
physically.
Absolutely.
And then the third thing is you stayed in your basement or your bedroom until you had that skill.
Okay.
So you didn't like your first good blend come out and say I'm a DJ. It was
Right.
like you put yourself through a certain number of paces, and your
Yeah,
boys would be like, "Nah, that ain't it." Like
If they was your real friends.
oh no, that wasn't a question back then.
Gotcha.
Because that was just the code.
Understood.
Because we didn't listen to, let's say, Eric B. and Rakim in '87 and want to be Eric B. and Rakim. We didn't listen to Houdini in '86 and want to be them. We appreciated them. Whereas around 93, 95, people were like, I think I can be a rapper. Like things changed
Yeah.
over time where people
Yeah.
saw themselves as whatever they were looking at, where we just had an appreciation. So when I saw the DJ, I just had a love of music. It wasn't necessarily like I'm going to be a DJ, but when I went to college, all of that changed. But that's how I got started, was just being around music, having music, presence, things of that nature. But when I saw Krista Glove Taylor on Breakin', and I saw Kenny, who was the main character in Beat Street, and they were the DJs.
Yeah.
All the breakdancing was cool, but I was transfixed on
the DJ.
The DJ, and when I saw those tables and everything, I was like, I see that. And it just started off as a hobby.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's fast forward to college.
Yep.
Like, I know you're heavy FAMU.
Yeah.
That's your alma mater.
Absolutely.
Shouts out to HBCUs.
Yeah, I went to two cults, Whitney Young and FAMU. They just
Yeah, Whitney Young. If you
and
know
I,
anything,
and I started Whitney Young in 7th grade.
Let me tell you
So I
something.
was there for 6 years.
Let me tell you something. For me, if you went to Whitney Young, your people had money. All right, and you were super smart. It's like the two things about Whitney Young that we felt from out south, back in the hood. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Y'all was like upper echelon of education.
Well,
you know what
hey,
I
I
mean?
can say I probably had one real polo shirt in 4 years, so I wasn't on the money part, but it was nice to know the people that did have.
Yeah,
money.
yeah. I bet it did. So let's talk about college, man. Like, how did you transcend in college?
Hey, there's a definitive story, and my man Jeff Beasley, he went to Whitney Young, class of '87. I went to the School of Business at FAMU, and they recruited heavy at Whitney Young.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of people from Whitney Young at FAMU by the time I got there. So
Word.
as a freshman, It was good to know a lot of people, and a lot of people from Chicago
Okay.
as well. So there's an event called Meet the Greek, where the Greek step teams come out and perform for the freshmen. And he had just pledged Alpha spring '88. I got there fall '88. It's my third week on the campus, and people from Whitney Young knew that I had DJ'd. That we used to have sock hops. Believe it or not, that's what we called it.
Yeah, they don't know what these
Right, back
youngsters
in the
don't know
day.
what that is.
Yeah, but we used to have gym parties. They called sock hops, and I would DJ at the sock hop, and I DJ'd at like my junior prom.
Now,
stuff
what was
like
you
that.
DJing on at them sock hops?
Oh, wax. I mean,
Just one of them. Hey,
Yeah,
just
1200s.
ask. Okay,
I didn't have 1200s, but that was what was.
that's what was there.
Yeah,
Okay, got
absolutely
it.
not.
Got it.
Nothing but wax, even in the '80s, to have an option unless you were making a pause tape.
Right.
You know,
Not the
so
pause tape,
right,
yo.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So, short story. Jeff comes up to me after the step show and says, "Hey, my dean is having a party at his house. Can you come DJ?" I said, "No." Now, mind you, a lot of people don't know that even though I know a lot of people, my idea of a good time is not a party. Personally, that's not what I do for fun.
Okay.
So I developed the skill of DJing as a born and raised as an only child. My brother's 15 years younger than me. It was just something for me to do to keep myself company. It was not like I want to be on stage. I want to be in arenas. I want to DJ the party.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
My desire was never to DJ the party.
Wow. Oh.
From there.
Wow.
Yeah. So from there, he asked me would I DJ his frat brother's party. I said no. He was like, "Well, you brought your equipment from Chicago." I was like, "I got my equipment, my records, everything." He was like, "Well, why don't you do the party?" Because I was like, "Dude, it's a hobby. I brought that down to do something between classes." He said, "We'll pay you $50." I said, "Pick me up at 7." In all those years, I never imagined it was something I could get paid from.
Right.
So
right.
it was the paid dynamic that brought me out of the introverted dynamic of just being a DJ as a hobby.
That hot $50 though. Ugh.
$50
But we
back in
talking
'88
80
was
yeah.
that was
We talking
10
88
5
was good.
pieces from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You feel me?
That was 10 pizzas. That was 10 haircuts. Like you can do a lot with $50 in '88.
Yes, sir.
That changed the game. That
Yes, sir.
one invitation to DJ that one party put me on the map. And then I spent 5 years being one of the top DJs in Northern Florida based on that one invitation. Changed my life.
Unbelievable.
Now, we can go back there, but when I graduated with my with my bachelor's, and I graduated with honors, I threw away one turntable. I brought one turntable home, left my records at the frat house, and was like, that was nice. Now, like, I was done with DJing when I graduated. So that's a whole nother story how it came
Really?
back out. But yeah, so it was never any event that I've ever DJ'd since 1988 has been someone saw something in me and said, I need you here. I have never promoted myself for a single event. I've never had a manager.
Which is ironic.
I've never had an advertiser. I've never done anything to market myself. It's my relationships from Whitney Young and FAMU that created my entire career.
That I can attest to because
And exposure.
That I can attest to because I can't recall any time I've seen you like really putting yourself out there like, yo,
Like DJ
I'm for hire.
Yeah.
You know, I can't recall. It was always
Incredible network.
It was always, yo, Vince is on the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
What? Vince is. So I remember when I first had to follow you. That was like, and it's crazy because it was like my first real kick into the club world.
Right.
Family Den.
Okay.
On a Sunday.
Okay.
You came in, murdered the joint.
Thank you.
Murdered the joint. Cousin Devo walks up and was like, hey, cuz, you on after him. The fuck you mean? What are you saying? Are you seeing what's happening right now? Like, this is the conversation I'm having with him. Like, yo, you see what's happening right now?
Right.
I can't follow that. Like, dog, huh? No.
So let me ask you this question.
No.
In the midst of that, now that we've known each other for many years, how many times and how long have you seen me out when I wasn't working?
5? Maybe? No. Let me take that back.
If I'm not
Are we counting Aspen?
I mean, that doesn't count. 'Cause,
okay, so let's do away with that.
Ski summits don't count.
Let's count.
Never.
Unless I'm talking to you to come get something.
Right. Yeah. Right. So
I can't say I've seen you out
just to
hanging
speak
out.
to the introverted perspective, if I'm not working, chances are you won't see me.
So what do you do, Vince?
Oh man, that's a whole nother. we can get So again, born and raised as the only child.
Got you.
I can sit in a room for days with all the
gadgets. So you're a gadget head.
I'm a reader. I'm information. I'm an education. I'm constantly educating myself.
Nice.
That's just been something I've done since I was a kid. So that's my idea of a good time is, and not a lot of fun. That's why I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. I mean, I don't have any problem with that.
I mean, that's okay.
Nerds run the world. So.
Listen. I watch, and I got somebody here to prove it. I watch how it's made. I watch cooking shows. I watch shows about robots. I'm to a degree, I'm a nerd my damn self, so right. I get it.
Yeah. I can pull out my phone and pull up my screen time on social media, and it might be like 10 minutes for the week.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has their thing.
I mean, right, I get it, but then it's like, I guess it goes back to you never self-promote your relationships is
right. But
okay.
But one of the things that a couple people have noticed about my bio is it says I'm a businessman first, and that's how I've always approached DJing.
I have to give you that.
Is from a business perspective, not from the artsy.
Let me tell you something. Anytime I bring your name up in conversation, which is it's often enough, I'll say that.
Right.
anytime I bring your name up in conversation, one of the first thing that comes out is, oh my God, the consummate professional. And that's always been one of the things I've admired about you from afar, and even kind of just next to you, just watching. I said this to Dawn. I said the way that man carries himself and the way he operates.
Thank you. But that's a testament to what I do when I'm not in front of, the stage or whatever, and certainly not to disrupt the line of questioning.
No, you're good.
In 98, I had a website created, and I saw Torrin Edmond had a website created. I didn't even know that my my webmaster was like, give me some websites that you like. I didn't even know that he kind of lifted the code out of Torrin Edmond. So Torrin, I apologize. I didn't realize it. Torrin hit me one day like, dude, you kind of lifted my website. I was like, how did it? And then I looked at our websites and I was like, I didn't even notice, but my webmaster. But my point, moreover, is in 98, there weren't really DJs looking to have a website.
Fact.
In 98.
Fact.
In 98, I created House Volume 1 on CD and Hip Hop Volume 1 on CD, where DJs had mixtapes, I had mixed CDs, and house and hip hop, where most people just picked a lane and did one. And
so to a degree, you was kind of ahead of the game.
I stay ahead of the game because I stay off the channels that everybody else is on. So think about going to CDJs in 2001, going to Serato in 2005, going to Twitch and during the COVID era. I see what's happening. Shout out to Alan King, who I saw really having success without getting cut off. But one of the things I've always done is stay in the lab, and I'm self-taught. So I have a master's from DePaul and IT. Like, I just stay learning. And that's my idea of a good time.
So since you brought it up, good segue.
Which is why opposites attract. My wife's an extrovert. She likes, the party and the people, and I hang out with her and do that. And
I get it.
But at the same time, I'm the introvert.
Right. So I'm glad you brought up Twitch. We're gonna let's jump into the 10,000 step movement.
All right.
How did you sit and come up with the whole, because, and let's just put it out there, like when COVID was a good and a bad thing all in one,
right.
One shot, right?
Sure.
It gave rebirth to the DJ. It gave power to the DJ.
For those who wanted to see it that way.
Fact, right? Because myself, yourself, and a gang of DJs took advantage of jumping on the social media platforms and, creating our own lanes with this situation. Mm-hmm. So I know when you started your Twitch thing, it was like, yo, Vince is killing. Anybody who talked to me, it was like, Vince is killing. How did the 10,000 step thing morph into what it is now?
I'd say that 10,000 steps at a point was a movement, and now it's a community. And I think that things run in cycles, so I don't mind saying that it's not as high as it was before, but that's because everybody had, captivated attention inside. And so now that people have more options, there are not as many viewers as there was at the peak of it, but the community that's core is still there. And I think that, having started at October 2020, and now we're going into, now just as timestamp, this is March of 2024, to have an active community
for almost 4 years.
That's 4 years in a virtual environment of people that are, we have people from the Netherlands and Brazil and different places, still
that is insane.
Drop into the party. So it started where, a couple things. One, the inception of me going virtual was my mom saying, hey, you need to entertain us during COVID. I was like, no, I'm good.
Right.
But that was a couple days before D-Nice went live, and like Janet Jackson, Michelle Obama, that day, people were calling me when D-Nice was on, like, are you watching D-Nice? I was like, no. All right, let me turn on this D-Nice thing. And what I realized is that if you weren't an A-list celebrity, you weren't getting identified in the D-Nice party.
Fact.
Which is okay. I mean, when you got 160,000 people in your stream, you can't shout out.
Everybody's not going to get shouted out.
So that's no shot to D-Nice, Derek. That's no shot to him. But what I said was, my call and response, my ability to connect with people, I could do something similar, but I can make everybody a part of this. So if you were born and raised on the south side of Chicago, or if you were from Texas, so if you went to a HBCU, if you went to U of I, everybody could feel included.
Yeah.
I took that dynamic, did what I could on Facebook with it. It blossomed into something on Twitch. We all gained weight over COVID.
Yeah.
Now it's October 2020, and I'm like, I want to create something that is health and fitness based, but at the same time, what I call a no judgment zone.
Okay.
So if you don't want to take steps, or if you want to sit back and drink some of the Pinot Noir, the blend that you have, if you want to do that,
right.
it's okay. Like, we won't be like, oh, you're drinking and having a cigar on your back,
Right.
like. So I wanted to create an inclusive environment, but at the same time acknowledge and reward those people who participated in the physical part, and that's where the 10,000 steps dynamic comes in, where I would record the mix live, and anyone who achieves 10,000 steps and it then went into 10 miles on a bike, because not everybody was stepping, they get a copy of the mix that was recorded that day. Right. So now, yesterday we just finished show number 147.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's over 140.
And that's every Wednesday.
Wednesday on Twitch, 6 p.m. Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. So
first of all,
very proud of the community. But
first of all, those numbers are staggering.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking almost 4 years. So, wow,
yeah, 147 live mixes that are part of our archive library. But that's from a financial dynamic. From what I was able to do over Twitch financially was pretty big, because it allowed me, even this past Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, I had an event for the Eastern region of Delta Sigma Theta, virtual event. I'm doing an event for Gilead Pharmaceuticals next week, virtual event. So
what the fuck?
Right.
Vince.
And so most of what I do is off the radar. If you're it's at the point where if you're not at what it is that I'm doing, then you probably don't know.
Wouldn't know.
Because I'm not putting it on Facebook. I'm not putting it on Instagram.
But why not, though? Well,
because they're private events.
Oh, well, okay.
They're catered and geared toward. So if
I'm
doing an event that you were invited to, then I'm the DJ for that event.
Got you. Okay. Right. Makes sense. Because I think, well, for me, I used to see how, this party is for AKA, this party is for such. This. I used to be like, yo, Vince this is insane. Mm-hmm. For me, to know that I could pick up my phone and call you, text you, whatever, somebody that I know personally, you took full advantage of the Twitch and COVID thing, and the fact that you said, I don't have to step in another club for 2 to 3 years, blew me out the water.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's been about 2-3 years.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I have special relationships that certain promoters that I still do things for. It's a very small window.
Yeah.
Very small number, but most of what I do are private events, or like I just did the central region of Alpha Kappa Alpha. I'll be doing the Boulé National Jack and Jill. So,
fuck?
Well, here's the deal. Going back to what you asked me, so we can take it back to 88. 88, I saw the business dynamic of what it was that I could do as a DJ, so that I could pay for my own haircuts, have date money, do that sort of thing.
Explain that. I'm just trying to see what you saw in 88.
Most DJs are artists. I'm a businessman. I just happen to have a skill in DJing. So I've always looked at DJing from the business dynamic of it, which is how I was blessed to be on Planet Groove with Rachel in 1999.
Yeah.
For DJ Tuesdays.
I remember that.
Back then, or the relationships that I've had, Keisha Walker, who brought me to my first Essence Fest, big name promoter who graduated from FAMU. As well. So, doing events for Keisha Lance Bottoms, doing events for Kwame Kilpatrick, mayors that graduated that we all pledged together. Or
Kilpatrick went to FAM?
Yeah, he was number 14 on my line. I was number 15.
Wow.
So
wow.
So the relationships that I've built have made it so that I get to do things on a business level. So take it to 2008. In 1998, you had to have a record collection to be a DJ.
Right.
There was no way that you were DJing any event at Inta's or Dennis Rodman's Illusions or any
Oh my
place
God, dog.
in Chicago or Essence Fest or Cancun or
Intas
Dominican.
and Illusions.
Right. There was no way you were DJing without crates of records.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't have like your mom's, Dionne Warwick records and be like, I'm a DJ. It just wasn't happening in
Right.
98. Fast forward to 2002, the advent of the CDJ. CDJs were expensive,
Yeah.
and not every club had them.
Yeah.
So unless you were bringing your own CDJs and had your own CD, MP3s burn of physical CDs.
Are we talking the first version?
Yeah, yeah.
Those was
2001.
like 8.
No,
Nine?
they were like 12, 1,400.
Really?
Yeah, they were 4 figures.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so to have 2 CDJs, they might have been $19.99. They may have been up.
$2,000 for some CDJs?
They may have been. Because remember,
Oh my
they had the
God.
Denon decks at first that didn't have pitch controls and
Right.
things like that.
Right.
But when
okay.
they came out with the CDJ, they may
With
have
them
been
pitch-
$17.99, $2,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
okay.
For you to be a DJ without records, you still had to have a sizable
Mm-hmm.
output. So even when I moved over to the CDJ, there wasn't a lot of DJs that could do that. But then when Serato dropped in 2005, all I needed was a computer and my boy's hard drive, and I was a DJ.
Yeah.
So the kind of money that we were making in the late 90s, and, our buddy Dawn can attest to this, what you paid a DJ in the late 90s and the early 2000s, that number started to come down in Chicago based on two things. One, in 2000, before 9/11, you could have 3 parties going on in Chicago with, let's say, Phillinate, Clubnet, and CK1 in the same night and have 800 to 1,000 people at each one of those individual parties.
Especially them Phillinate parties. My God.
Well, Clubnet, prior to
Well,
Phillinate,
yeah.
Union Station, and
My God.
so the first
Forgot about
Clubnet
Union
party I
Station.
did was Union Station with 1,500 people. That
Jesus
was
Christ.
so, yeah. So having lived and been there through it, shouts out to New Birth and everybody.
Yeah.
Sean Dyes was in the
Sean Dyes. What up, boy?
Miracle Entertainment. So So my point is, you could have these promoters that had their own huge parties, but in 2005, not only did it take now 2 to 3 promotion groups to come together to have more people after 9/11, after what happened at the club E2.
E2.
So we had things in Chicago that changed the fire codes and different things.
Yeah.
So it took more promoters to get less people in the club. And now you have DJs that are like, I'll do the whole party for what he used to charge for an hour. So even in 2006, as I may have
The start of undercutting.
right.
Gotcha.
So even in 2006, as I may have had, 5 to 6 residencies a week, the pay that the promoter wanted to pay for those residencies started to go down.
Yeah.
So I said in 2008, I've got 2 choices. I can either flip my money from 80% club, 20% special event, to 80% special event to 20% club. Or I can not eat. Or go back to the traditional.
Yeah, so not eating was not an
Right.
option.
Or going back corporate wasn't an option, as I left corporate in 04.
Really?
Right. So
Okay.
I was burning the candle at both ends up until 04. So my point, moreover, is I've always seen DJing through the lens of business. And so in 2008, that's when I started the branding dynamic. So not the marketing, but the branding dynamic of creating I was your DJ for special events through the resume that I had, through the relationships that I had. And so that allowed me in 2008 to kind of move away from the clubs and start to build more of your special event DJ dynamic. And then I saw that within COVID. And then I was able to do virtual events that other people wouldn't necessarily MC, host,
Yeah.
do all the technology around what it need. So then that allowed me to come out of COVID and then be, well, that's the guy that did our virtual for this. This is the guy that, so it's all been business based, not like I love music.
Wow.
Which I do, but I'm just saying I've used that, more so to build my business brand,
Right.
which allows me to be more selective and have a different dynamic around events. And I think that that's an important thing. I've always seen it, but that started in '98 from that first $50 party, from '88
I'll
in that
be
first
damned.
$50 party.
So when it comes to your favorite genres,
I don't really have one
okay,
to spin.
yeah. So if you had,
Here's what I'll put it to you like this. House music for me used to tell a story. The reason I say used to is because in a lot of circles for me, and I don't mind saying this, and I've said it before, I'm too hip hop to be house, but I'm too house to be hip hop.
yeah,
So
you
if-
do ride that line.
So if you go
ride
to
that
certain
line.
circles, they'd be like, he ain't a house DJ. You go to other circles, they're like, he ain't a hip hop DJ because so because of my diversity, a lot of times I'm not accepted by the extremes of those two communities.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say the extreme of the house community allows house to be what house used to be, which is the introduction of new music,
Mm-hmm.
letting the song play for 7 minutes or 10 minutes as opposed to just a segment of the song.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the events that I do that have house music, they want to hear the same songs that they heard the last 5 or 7 events. Like they want to
Right.
hear the hits, if you will, as opposed to the audiences. So the reason I say for me, because a lot of events that I do are more so middle of the road. They're not looking for the most abstract of house. They're not looking for the most abstract of hip hop.
Understood.
I wind up playing the best of what it is, the
Right.
greatest hits of the last
Right.
25 to 40 years, which is okay. I just have to respect that that's the lane that I created. What I do on my own personal listening is not necessarily reflective of what I play for people, but I have to size up the room and,
So how much time do you spend like listening to music and kind of, being like, yo, this a hit. Okay, let me
none.
add this.
And here's why not. Because if I'm doing a party for the central region of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and I've got women in the room from the ages 22 to 72, I can't play the song that just came out 4 weeks ago. That's not for the audiences
Okay.
that I'm playing for.
Understood.
I'm not breaking music.
Got you.
They want to hear it. So Water, by Tyler may have crossed the barrier of the song that everybody knows because of TikTok and that. So because of the types of events that I do, I'm not necessarily breaking new music or staying, on with the trends. What I listen to in my own time, I'm on the Spotify, playlist, or I'm on the different charts on.
Okay,
like
so-
I've got Tidal, Apple Music. I've
Right.
got all of the different.
So you
streaming
do check out like
for my own
what's
for my own personal taste, but that's not what I'm playing
okay.
in the club. What my events don't. That's not the range that the events are in. Like they're high ticket events where people are looking for Frankie Beverly and Mays, Beyonce,
Right.
and Biggie. They're not looking for the new Raheem Devon single or something. And no shot to Raheem, but I'm just saying
I feel
that's-
what you're saying. Got
that's
you.
not the circle. So you have to mirror and match to what it is you're in. But what to me is very important in that is that there's a lot of new music out there that has a good place, and that's why I created 10,000 Steps. 10,000
okay.
Steps for me is my place where I don't play the same 7 songs of house music. I call it a 21st century house music experience. If anybody goes to my DJ Vince Adams Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/DJ Vince Adams, I have a series of mixes that have house music that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
That to me was the organic part about being a DJ. I get to do that for my virtual venue that I created, and people have come to expect and love being introduced to new sounds and things that they otherwise wouldn't have. When you've got
Gotcha.
700 women on the dance floor, you're not like, I wonder if they'll like this song they've never heard before.
Right.
You are,
Right.
playing the songs that it is that are the staples for that event. But why would they choose me over maybe somebody else for that? Well, being Greek, I'm an alpha, pledged 34 years ago now.
Hey, you old, dog.
Yeah, I went to a HBCU. I went to a Jesuit,
Yeah.
school for my master's. So I have a lot of the same dynamics that a lot of the people in the room do, but I bring an air of street to the professional dynamic. So I'm able to talk to them like it's the club, but in the tones and in the
That
things
they understand.
Right. So it's not just
Got
the
you.
music, it's the interaction and the different things. So if you know the difference between a Phi Beta Sigma and a Zeta Phi Beta, which you may not know one is a fraternity, one is a sorority, they're, brother and sister, sorority and fraternity. If you don't speak that language, then you're not connecting in the room the same way. If you don't know that certain schools are out east, certain schools are, so
Right.
it's more so the rapport that I've built, more so than the music, that have allowed me to kind of like ascend and do these different things for, Chicago Urban League for many years, for UNCF. I'm doing their Chicago, gala this year, and the different things that I'm able to do is because of those relationships and my own professional and academic thing is, the same songs.
Yeah.
So you can only swag surf so many different ways.
Because I think I can attest to seeing you when we were at the ski summit, just watching how you navigated and your connection to the HBCUs. Like once you start talking to them HBCUs, it was like, yo, it's over.
Right.
He got them. Whereas I can't speak to that.
Right.
I don't know that life.
Right.
And I'm not, and it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
I'll shout y'all out, but I can't talk Greek, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So that's what I did from a business perspective in 2008. How can I be on the same stages with Kid Capri, Bismarcky, RIP, D Nice, but I'm not from New York. I've never created a rap song. I've never been in a rap video. What is it about me? It's because I can speak a different language than those guys can.
That so many people understand.
That the people that are in that event connect to, because it takes them back to when they were in college. And that's the same for U of I or University of North Carolina, like PWIs as well. There's a certain dynamic within their experience that I can speak to, having 2 degrees, having pledged a fraternity, having gone to college 1,000 miles away from home, having, understood that world.
Mm-hmm.
I can put that on top of my music talent and make a distinction. So anybody who's ever looking to make a win in whatever they do, one of the first things I learned in business school is you have to have a differential advantage.
Yeah.
What is it about you and what you're presenting that makes it different than everybody else? Everybody has swag surf. Everybody has Before I Let Go. So if everybody's got the same major 12, 15 songs.
But it's always, of course, it's always about how you play it, how you present it, though, right?
And I can present it through my history, not necessarily because I put it together. I have pretty cool DJ chops,
Yeah.
But it's not that dynamic. It's really a whole nother dynamic within there. Tone of the voice, cadence, different things that you can do that create a different dynamic.
Yeah, because if and this is just me, if I had to really say it, you are without question one of the most well-rounded DJs I know.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Because again, it goes back to your cadence, the language you speak, and you can adapt to pretty much any room. I've seen you adapt to basically every kind of goddamn room, and it's like, this dude is amazing.
Let me share two quick things with you. One, people are like, he talks on the mic. My man Teddy Gilmore did Navy Pier. He brought in Kid Capri, 12 crates of records on the thing, and Teddy nudged me and he said, if you want to be on the stage like that, you're going to have to start talking. This is like 98. So people like, I went to Florida A&M. So if we think about Uncle Luke and Jam Pony and come on. Like if you think about it, that was the room that I grew up DJing in, but I wasn't the guy on the mic.
Right.
I was the guy playing the music, and there was somebody else working
on the mic.
Room.
Right.
And so it's not like I didn't know what those things were, but I just took a lot of pride in being the DJ and not the person on the mic.
Absolutely.
Ted was like, if you want to get out of Chicago, which was blend heavy, you've got to develop a personality behind it. So that was Teddy Gilmore.
Okay.
That put that bug in me. But then the next thing that happened is, as I started doing more national events, I understood that my style of DJing was very monotone. It was very smooth. I could come out of It's Over Now by 112 to, Too Close next. Like, think about 99 music that was out. It was smooth. It was smooth. It was like real smooth. New York, East Coast wasn't smooth. It was on cue slams. Like, so if you think about the quick transitions of, you know, the DJs from back then, but I didn't have that skill set because in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, since it's a DJ podcast, my skill set was blending. It wasn't, you know, other things. So the cool thing about it was I saw it to hire a professional battle scratcher to teach me how to scratch. And I said, I don't need to win a competition. I just need to vary my style so that when I go to New Orleans, so that when I go to Cancun, when I go to New York, when I go different places, I don't sound like this. I can put different things. So when I say I'm a student, like, what is it that you do for fun? I'm always looking for different edges in what it is that I do. And so I don't have to be the best battle DJ. I don't have to be the best, you know, over here. If I can incorporate different things into my skill set that allows me to have a different dynamic and a different connection with different, you know, rooms.
Gotcha.
Then, so that's something I've done deliberately. It wasn't out of the passion. It was like, I see a weakness. Let me fortify it. Let me strengthen myself in this area so that I can compete or present myself on these same stages as other people that might be higher.
Got you. So let's fast forward. If y'all don't know, Vince has been shouted out by the one and only black president for the United States of America.
Right.
And for me, I don't give a fuck what Coliseum you do, what motherfucking, I don't care about none of that. You had Barack Obama, the black president, shout you out. That trumps everything for me. And for me, anybody who knows me, Jeff is it for me. But that, I put you up there with Jeff and me. So when you got that shout out, how did that make you feel?
Well, Jeff is everybody's like. He's like, Jeff is your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. So,
Yeah.
you know, so
Absolutely.
we need to find out who Jeff's favorite DJ is there.
I'm working towards it.
Right.
Trust or no.
Absolutely. And, you know, here's what I would say just super quick on that is that I got a call from Laura Whitaker. Thank you, Laura, for the call. It was an Obama fundraiser in the summer of 2011. 11.
Yeah,
His second campaign.
Second campaign. Right.
And it was a fundraiser that he wasn't attending, but it went so well at the East Bank Club in Chicago, hosted by the mayor at that time, Rahm Emanuel. They put me on every fundraising event for Barack Obama for the entire re-election. So that's how that happened.
God damn, that's dope. Vince, Jesus Christ, man. My God. So, again, I have to ask. You see, Twitter, Barack Obama, shouts out to DJ Vince Adams. And I get it. You're an introvert. You know, you feel how you feel.
Right.
But at that moment, how did you feel? I'm sure everybody was like, yo, congrats.
I'll put it to you like this. In pledging, for anybody that's pledged any fraternity or sorority, you learn a poem called If. And one of the lines in that poem says, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. I never go too high, I never go too low. So when I heard it, it was a blessing. It was something great for my grandmother, something great for my mom, but you know.
Oh my God, that was tough.
Yeah, so I mean that's how I felt about every accolade or every valley I've ever been in. You can't go too high, you can't go too low. So it's an extreme blessing. I've been able to do some things that I think put me on a level of DJ that you otherwise, you know, wouldn't be able to experience in your life. Mm-hmm. But the blessing of it is that I walk in the room as though no one knows who I am. Not like, you don't know who I am?
Yeah.
You know, I introduce myself to everyone. Like, I know you are. Like, I don't assume that anyone knows who I am. So I'm not calling that like the level of humility. That's just the person that I was when I was spending my lunch money on records back in the 80s. Right. It's like, this is a blessing to be here, but it wasn't like this was where I always saw myself. So anything extra is just gravy.
Man. So listen, I know we're just about out of time, and I'm okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this shot to the jaw. I got to talk to my man. I want to give you your flowers right here, right now.
Thank you.
We have talked on multiple occasions, especially when we were in Colorado. I have to thank you for giving me guidance on structure of how to move within the party. You've given me so many good nuggets and just me picking your brain. And I have to thank you for sharing, you know what I mean, and seeing within me that I have what it takes to navigate these, even because working within the confines of the ski summit, that's not the easiest thing
No,
that is not the easiest thing to navigate when you got
it's the happiest, most hostile environment.
Listen,
you've ever
you
been
got
in.
Canada, you got the South, you got California West, you got the East Coast, you got overseas, and you have to figure
DMV,
out you got to figure out how to please all these people.
Yeah.
And you helped me work them waters. That's why I don't necessarily worry about going into any room and doing what I have to
that's
do.
a hostile environment, but if it wins, then you build your chops.
Yeah, but again, I have to say thank you, man, for just talking to me and giving me those nuggets to walk me through. Not even just the ski summits. Just I took those bits and used it towards every little avenue.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Again,
even when I called you about the Twitch stuff.
But here's what I can say. I mean, not to, nerd everybody out. And I know it's been probably more of a serious conversation, but, I'm super lighthearted. If you want to come hang out on Wednesdays, you can see how much of a fool we act on Twitch.
Yeah,
but I just
absolutely
feel like there's certain things about DJing or, personality approaches to certain things. Here's what I'll say. In the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of those habits is create a win-win environment. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I can help a person win, everybody wins. So I never feel like, I'm in a position where like that's my slot. Like if anybody can ascend, then it's a win for everybody. So I never look at anybody as competition. I never look at me dropping a gem or helping somebody out in a situation. I mean, Sean Mack, Chicago royalty can share things with you. Like I've shared with a lot of my brother Ron Troop. I've shared with a lot of people over the years. Here's something that you can do to fortify your skill set and take it to the next level. That's what I want to do. I want to see everybody win.
Listen, Vince, I love you so much, dog. That's why I say, like, when it comes to people that I admire, and it's not many, you are absolutely
Thank you,
one.
brother.
Anybody I've had a conversation with, your name absolutely comes up when it gets to talking about DJs and how they operate. And I've heard DJ Heat, Vince Adams does it. I mean, shut the fuck up talking to me. Vince is it. Listen, it goes beyond these records. It goes beyond this mixer, these decks. Mm-hmm. Anytime somebody can impart in you because they see in you like goodness and greatness.
Mm-hmm. One thing that everybody should know that you will very rarely hear complaints from anybody that's above you.
Say that again. Say that. My God, say that again, man.
It's very rare that you'll hear a complaint from somebody above you. So just watch where you get your opinions from. So that's why I don't spend any time on social media. I don't have to read any press clippings to my benefit. I don't have to read any, complaints to my detriment. Not to say that there's not ever room for improvement. That's not what I'm saying. But typically, whoever's barking the loudest isn't necessarily coming from the place that you would want to see yourself ascend to. So,
dude, you about to make me cry. Like, for real. Hey, but look, give everybody your socials. We got to get out of here. We got to go. We got to go. It's definitely going to be a part 2. I promise you this.
Good
like deal. I really believe.
Oh yeah, I mean we haven't gotten into any stories.
We haven't.
This has all been theory, but sometimes you got to get theory and substance before you get to.
Listen, we've had enough stories, but sometimes it's good to get meat and potatoes and just good knowledge. Give everybody your social, how to find
DJ
you.
Vince Adams on everything. I mean, even on Pinterest. So, if you want to email me, djvinceadams@gmail.com, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, everything /DJ Vince Adams. And that's exactly where you can find me on any social media outlet, and specifically on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Vince Adams Wednesday night. 10,000 Steps House Music Party, and on Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/DJ Vince Adams. Full library, even going back to that first mix in 98.
Boy, let me
That
tell
first
you
CD.
something. Yeah, the first CD. Do you have anything like where people can attend like anytime soon? If not, it's okay because I
Yeah.
get it. It's Vince Adams. Like, what are we talking about here?
When does this air?
We'll figure that out.
All right, so, yeah.
just give me the dates. We'll work it out.
Well, March 9th, I'm doing something big for my man.
Tomorrow. No,
No.
Saturday.
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. So my man Kevin Freeman. Kevin Freeman.
This will
and
air
Melzy.
Tuesday. They'll be all right.
All right. Yeah. So Melvin and Melzy and Kevin are having a huge event for Kevin's 50th birthday party. So
Okay.
I'm on the decks with B-Side and Ferris.
Nice.
So it's a public event.
Nice.
that I'm
Well,
doing.
man, listen, Vince, it's always a pleasure to have you in my vicinity, or just to be at your elbow, just to
You got it.
pick your
So-
brain, man.
Because I'm an introvert doesn't mean that I don't like to have a good time. So the next time we come back, we got to get into some of these silly stories.
Oh,
and
we
some of the
gonna get
things
into
that-
these stories,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I promise you, we gonna get into these stories.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We just
We can't serious everybody out and let them not know
we
that we
just
got
started-
some different
we just-
sides.
we just starting out,
I've
man.
seen some things. Yeah.
I bet the
Absolutely.
hell you have. Hey, but look, man, thank y'all for chiming in. Thank y'all for looking. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for subscribing. It's your man, DJ Wildchild, DJ Vince Adams. This has been Drop the Beat Podcast. Thank y'all. Until the next episode, I will chat with y'all later. Peace.
Don't cut it. Don't stop. One story. Just say it can be put at one story.
Are we going to edit the story in?
We're going to figure it out.
Because Dawn Millhouse, my executive producer, said, God damn it, don't stop. We finna get one story. Vince, give me one
Of the silliest.
of the silliest stories ever.
One of the silliest stories. All right. So, just to let y'all know that I'm not afraid to make fun of myself, there was this club called the Crowbar.
Good old crowbar.
So
Good old crowbar. My God.
So you have nightmare stories sometimes. This is my nightmarest of stories. So this is on me. So I've seen some things outside. This is on me. A friend came to town, platonic friend, never been to Chicago. I was like, let me take you around. Went out, drinking. Went somewhere else, drinking. Went to Mike Crowbar's house, drinking. By the time I get to Crowbar,
So wait, you had to work that night?
this is like 2011. Man. And, so this is
Bruh.
before I got to the club. So,
Wait, fam, you had to work for real?
yes,
What the fuck?
it was packed. I mean, packed out. If you don't call Kenny Johnson, because he'll be like, I forgot about that. Now I'm mad all over again.
Oh my God.
So I get in there, it's packed. Like, this is a multi-level
Yeah.
club, like probably 600, 700
Man,
person
listen,
capacity.
crowbar used to be. Boy?
By the time I'm done with my set, tumbleweeds.
What did you do?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But I was like, no. All my clothes were on, but I went and found Kenny in the office because I was like on my feet. I was out on my feet. And Kenny was in his office like, I was like, man, everybody. He's like,
What did you say, Vince?
trust me, I wake up in cold sweats today because I don't have too many of those stories. Like, I don't have to, like, here's what I did just to ruin everything. Like, I don't have too many of those. That was one. That was like 15 years ago, like 14, 15 years ago. I can remember that feel like it's one of those, like, PTSD.
600 people boiled down to 20 people.
And we're talking white, black, Indian, like the melting pot of Chicago. It was like the sexiest thing that you could, man.
Vince, what the hell
have no
did
idea.
you do?
I remember one blend was Lady in My Life with Whoop That Trick.
What?
Exactly. Like the instrumental of Whoop That Trick with Lady in My Life. That's the one.
Go. There'll be no, what?
Yeah. Try it when you get home. You'll be like, actually, That's pretty nasty.
It's
in a
pretty
good way.
nasty, but the question is,
I'm sure whatever came before and after it, yeah, nightmare. So yeah, I've seen some things out on the other side, but I thought we'll tell them. Yeah, so yeah, don't let the smooth taste fool you. It's everything. Like literally, I picked her up from her hotel probably like around 10
that morning.
Went to brunch. And then went to a house party, and then went to the club.
So tell me you went somewhere and took a nap.
No, this is what I'm telling you. Yeah, it was. Oh man, it was horrible. But I mean, so from the other side. But I mean, we were in Colorado together, and they got in trouble. The promoters got in trouble because people were having such a good time at the party that the girls
Be Ahoy or the after party.
No, this is a main party in Colorado. I'm sure this is when you were there too.
Oh, in the
it was a big room.
The big room.
They had couches like these. The girls were dancing in the sofa and punctured the leather couch so I mean I've seen all types of turn-ups. I mean from around the country. Around the world. I mean,
first of all, let me tell you something.
Hey, how about this? When the AKAs got their first charter in the UAE, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, they called me to come out to do the pre-party celebration to go to Abu Dhabi to
your fancy ass.
Yeah, so I mean it's been a lot of fun, different. Yeah.
It's just Abu Dhabi.
No, it's been a lot of fun, different things that have happened over the years just from relationships. Yeah, but that time, too much to drink would be an understatement.
Hey, man, listen. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. And we'll talk about being up at 4 o'clock in the morning with Biz Marquis and Dougie Fresh talking about anybody who knows Biz, they will tell you that Biz has stories of what he has that nobody else has. I got the Paradise Garage remix acapella of Love Sensation.
Oh my God, that's so.
The original, like being up in Philadelphia with DJ Rand and Biz, or being in LA with Dougie Fresh before, because I was a tour DJ for Dougie Fresh.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we ain't even get into that. Oh my God.
Yeah. So lots of different things that have happened over.
Oh my God, it's imperative we do a part two.
I got a video that we'll watch after this on YouTube of me and Doug at the House of Blues Essence Fest 2011. Nuts.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Dog.
So it's been a fun run.
Don't
let all of the formal events,
Yo, so again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. This is Vince Adams at his best, man. One of the most consummate and professional dudes I've ever encountered in my life. And again, my dude, I thank you for imparting into me and probably so many others.
Win-win. I want to see everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep up the good work, man.
Listen,
when you said you were doing this, I was like, just let me know where to be, and I'm there.
Man, listen, trust to know that second phone call is coming.
There it is.
Or I'm sorry, text, because I've learned you're more of a texter than a phone caller. I respond
far faster.
Yeah, I've noticed, and it's okay.
Absolutely.
It's cool. But man, thank y'all for chiming in, man. Once again, this is Drop That Beat Podcast. Your man Wild Child, Vince Adams. I thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Sisters, we have something hip that we want to present to you.